Hi, I'm Mary.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Housewife Did It.
Pop culture edition.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yay. If you like our show, you can share it with other people, follow, give us a review. Um, Unless you don't like it, and then please don't.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Inside thought.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
We don't like it when people be mean.
yeah. And then we were just talking about Giggly Squad coming out with a book. And if you were here for last pop culture, you know we're big Paige DeSorbo fans, which apparently puts us in the minority right now.
Yep.
I fear that Paige is being viewed as a male sympathizer. I fear.
Yeah.
Um,
You
but
just really, you'd be hard pressed to get me to view Paige and Sierra the way I
right,
view Sheena and Lala.
right, like
You can keep trying, but
right, and I think that the difference is that I feel that historically they have had plenty of reasons to not like Lindsay
right.
and not plenty of reasons to not like Carl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that kind of naturally puts them in a certain camp
Yeah.
on this, and
Yeah.
especially probably following the camp that Amanda is in.
Mm-hmm. True.
Whereas like Sheena and Lala are defending garbage men against their actual friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I also feel like I'm always on the opposite side of the internet for Summer House.
Yeah.
So that's just my that's that's my bag. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
All right, other Bravo things. So Andy Cohen just continues to talk about this New Jersey stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it better be as major as he's making us think. So he says the finale is going to make up for the fact that there's no reunion. We're not going to feel like we need a reunion. Also, again, to clarify, like me and Mary are not watchers of New Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
typically speaking, but like, man, are they catching my attention?
Mm-hmm.
No reunion, and apparently a Last Supper style finale that's gonna be so riveting that we don't even want a reunion. But he has put to bed rumors of a recasting Roni style. He said, we are not
Mm-hmm.
doing that. We are not starting over. Um, this week on the show, there was a big fight that's kind of been all over the internet between Jennifer and Danielle. Danielle was screaming, "You're dirty. You're dirty. You're a piece of shit. Everyone was right. You're dirty." And Jennifer pushed her. And then Danielle, this is like, we've seen glass thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She smashed this glass up against Jen's face. That is
That happened in Potomac.
so I yeah.
Yeah,
We
you
the
need to start
worst
watching
I know.
these
The
Potomac.
worst that
Yeah.
I have seen, I believe, was Roni,
Mhm.
and someone threw a glass out of a boat
Mhm.
at someone and hit them, and it did kind of like shatter. And then obviously Sierra and Danielle on Summer House was pretty bad. This was scary, and Jen just like moved straight through it. She
Mhm.
just kept yelling, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Friend,
You
are
need
you
to
okay?"
watch Martha's Vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
Easy watch, only 2 seasons, but they have some fights kind of like that. But yeah, there's a season of Potomac where it's almost like it feels like it's almost all fights between
Mm-hmm.
Monique and Candace. And there's one fight, and it's like kind of hard to tell exactly what happened, but um one of them like threw threw wine onto the other one, but like something happened as that was happening, and the glass like shattered as they were throwing the wine, and like people got cut.
Yeah.
And yeah, is but
So
now
that
we're
wasn't.
on Miami.
Yeah, I did start Martha's Vineyard when it first came out, and I wasn't really about it, so I'll give it another go since it is only 2 seasons. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, we are making our way through. We're now starting Below Deck Med. So, anyway, this that was enough to catch my attention and
Yeah.
to be like, what is going on here? So I have now started the most recent season of New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Not going all the way back yet. I just want to see what's going on right now and get prepared for this finale. Um, Danielle posted after that aired on Instagram and said, "For a year, we sat back in silence as the lies spread like wildfire. Hit after hit, lie after lie. Violence is never the answer. However, in all fairness, I did say the last person to mess with is me. Trust me when I tell you, Tulum was just the tip of the iceberg." Okay, so to me, I guess let me read my next line. Apparently, this is not the first time on the show that Jen has been the first one to like initiate physical contact in an
Mm-hmm.
altercation. So a lot of people are speculating that she either has been fired already or like will be fired after this. Uh again, like maybe I need to be better versed in this. I understand that she did push her. One just feels worse than the other.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if this is her pattern is to like push women, like that's not good. But also, did you have to smash a glass on her head? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we'll see what the lies are. But so far, yeah, maybe it will be a really good finale if this is the kind of beef they're having all throughout the season. So,
Mm-hmm.
also, just a rewind back to Summer House, Danielle has announced that she has decided to give us all what we've been asking for, and she will not be returning to the next season of Summer House.
Mm-hmm. The
And
comment
she'll
section on her post is absolutely brutal.
should have turned that
I
off.
I know. I like every time I look at it, I'm like, how have you not turned the comments off? But Lindsay reposted it and said, "We love you, Danny girl," which to me sounds like Lindsay will be sticking around.
Yeah.
Which we had kind of wondered after the breakup, because
Mhm.
I don't see Carl leaving.
Mm-mm. No, and a lot of people are saying like, Danielle, we don't believe you. You were obviously fired. So like, do we believe her? Like, was she fired?
I don't know, like, I don't know if fired, because I do think that she'll be
Yeah.
around, but maybe demoted.
Yeah, I wonder if they just said to her like, we are thinking we're not going to offer I don't know, like if they gave her some sort of like option to like choose her own narrative, but like by the way, you will not be a main cast member.
Right.
So like do with it what you would like.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, I mean she said in it like in whatever capacity that I'll be there. So like I do think she
Yeah.
plans to be like a guest, probably Lindsay's.
Mm-hmm.
Um which is just like always awkward when it happens for someone that's been there for many years because
Yeah.
it's like it's you can't really pass them off as like a friend
Yeah.
anymore because it's like you have to mention the fact that like we all know her and
Right.
everyone in the house all knows her. But I
Yeah.
mean, obviously not watching Danielle every single episode of the season will be nice.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Miami. So we're watching Miami now, and like, so they got through 4 seasons or 3 seasons, and then they took an 8-year hiatus and came back. Um, and a lot of the a lot of them are returning from the original cast, but so the Real Housewives as of right now on the season I'm watching are Larsa Pippen, Lisa, Alexia, um, Gertie, and Nicole. But like Marisol and Adriana, and Julia as a housewife, Marisol and Adriana are in every single episode of Miami. They are, they have just as many like interviews as everyone else, and I'm like, why are these women not considered housewives?
Yeah.
Like, why are they not full cast member housewives? Um,
Yeah.
it's just odd to me. And like it almost feels like it defeats the purpose of like having like a main cast if the guests are there just as often. So I feel like the fact that she made a statement about it, like she's definitely not going to be there as much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
True.
I'm going to jump back to Martha's Vineyard for a second. Amir and Natalie from Summer House Martha's Vineyard are engaged. Um, apparently, unpopular opinion, I like them. I think they're I think they're a great couple. I think they match each other's energy really well. I think that Natalie got this like reputation for being controlling, but I think it's because of things that Amir said and not things that Natalie did. So like Amir would say, because again, there's only 2 seasons. First season he's single. Second season is when Natalie comes into the picture. Um, and he like basically like everything that the other men do, he's like, Natalie would never let me do that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Natalie would beat my ass if I did that. And like then Natalie comes on in the last few episodes and she's like very chill. She's like vibing with the girls. Um and there's like one incident where she like asks him if he was staring at someone's ass, but like
Mhm.
other than that, like she's not like giving energy of like you can't breathe near other women.
Mhm.
But like so the comments on it were like, oh, like think like I guess she told him it was time to propose, like basically like that she like orchestrated the whole thing because she's so controlling. And I just think that he made us think that, and like she's not
Yeah.
showing that. But
Yeah, I mean, I obviously don't know them, but I think men have this like tendency
mhm.
sometimes to like want
Mhm.
that to be what their women
Yes.
are like and to be like, "Oh my god, like my girl like would never want me to do that." And like even if she doesn't care, like he may just like the idea that like she likes me so much that like
Yeah.
she
She's
would
a
not.
little crazy about
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I also think that there were like so there's like some drama with Natalie for like trying like basically she tried to like warn another girl like, hey, your boyfriend's like sneaky. And they got mad at her for like saying it, and they were like, she's a gossip, blah blah blah. Like I feel like Natalie seemed like so uncomfortable in that house, and I think she was trying so hard to like connect with the women and like be a girl's girl. And like I love her for that. I feel
Mhm.
like she was really trying to like be supportive of the other girls, especially like in that house as a guest. She was still like one of two white people, and you could like tell that she felt uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Like she didn't know anyone, she was new, and like she the Bria's boyfriend was like being an asshole, and I think Natalie was trying really hard not to like overstep her boundaries in
Mhm.
a lot of ways. And it just came across kind of weird, but I'm happy
Yeah.
for them. I like them.
Yeah.
So now back to other things. So according to a blind item, I guess from Dumois, um, Kenya Moore is planning on filing a discrimination lawsuit against Bravo because she was suspended as an Atlanta housewife for a revenge porn incident. Meanwhile, Tom Sandoval's salary has doubled since he was accused of the same thing. I I mean, agree that he should be fired by this point, but I do wonder if it's different though because Sandoval's like denying the claim, but truthfully, like I don't know anything about Kenya's incident, so I don't know if it was something that's like been proven and like or she was found guilty of while Sandoval's like still in the middle of this and like claiming that he didn't do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been trying really hard to follow this, but from what I've gathered, allegedly Kenya shared images of another housewife doing sexual acts at the grand opening of her spa. So,
I thought you meant oh wait, okay. Sorry. She's doing the sexual acts at the grand opening or Kenya's showing this video at the grand opening. Okay.
Kenya's showing photos
Okay.
or videos at Kenya's grand opening.
Okay.
I think different.
Yeah.
So like also I don't know that we're anywhere near proving that Tom Sandoval
Right.
did participate in revenge porn. Like, yes, he
Right.
recorded something without someone's consent, but like, there's no
Right.
evidence that he shared it.
Right.
There's no evidence that he, like, if anyone shared it, like, it's possibly Ariana, but like,
Right.
there's like no even like really allegations that he like shared it publicly. So like, this feels massively different.
Right.
But what's weird is that Kenya is denying doing this, which to
Mhm.
me feels like quite provable or not.
Right.
Or
Like it
like,
sounds like there were witnesses.
yeah, like I don't know. I assume this wasn't on camera.
Right. I
Or
would
was it? Because like most housewives would put their grand openings on camera.
right.
But I also think like surely someone got it on camera. Like
Yeah.
if you're a public figure and they're like it feels weird if there is no evidence of it then or witnesses then like yeah
Yeah.
I would have to
Then
believe she
fair.
didn't do it
Yeah.
because like surely people would know that but that also feels like a very strange thing to say she did in a public place if she didn't.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very confused,
Yeah. I
but
don't I don't know. Like and I think I like at this point there are so many things we could fire Tom Sandoval over instead of doubling his salary, but like I don't think that anyone stands out more than another because like you said like he hasn't like they haven't proven he did this
mm-hmm.
and like even from Rachel's telling of events he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was like I don't know that that's gonna like hold up, but okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Janet from the Valley went on a podcast and denied the claim that she weaponized her pregnancy. Basically she said like I wasn't like saying like you can't do this because I'm pregnant. I was just saying like I'm having a hard time because I'm pregnant. Pregnancy is hard. And in the interview, she claimed that she wanted to surround herself with people who, quote, wanted to see my pregnancy go to full term and see me have a healthy child and become a mom, end quote. And then she said that she doesn't believe that is what Kristen and Zach wanted. Kristen commented on the interview saying, quote, I had a fucking pregnancy loss. I would never in a million years say something like that. Wait for me to post the text where I ask her about her pregnancy, including when she texted me the baby's first heartbeat, and oh yeah, I was at her gender reveal. This is revolting, end quote. I will say, Janet never said that Kristen said, I don't want you to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree that that's the implication that
Mm-hmm.
Janet is saying, like, for whatever reason, whether it's something that they said, they did, their energy or whatever, that Kristen and Zach weren't happy for her being pregnant, didn't want her to have a baby, didn't want to see her be successful as a mom, see her baby be healthy, and that is a horrible thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of if you're saying, like, they said to me, we don't
Yeah.
want you to have a baby.
Yeah.
It's icky.
It feels like I feel confused because I feel like Janet is entitled to her feelings
Yeah,
and like
sure.
feeling
Unfortunately.
like someone has like a certain energy, or like someone's like mad
Yeah.
at you, or like feeling like, these people are like not supportive of
Right.
me, is like valid.
Right.
uh this feels like a
Yeah.
weird thing to just like feel.
Right.
It feels like a very specific
Like,
thing
I
to
get the
just,
feeling that
yeah,
they
like,
want my baby to die in utero.
yeah, like it
That's the
feels like
vibe I get.
a weird thing to just like, yeah, like she's just so if no one said something, not like they didn't have to say I would like your baby to not make it to term, but if no one said something that like
Right.
made you think that's what they meant, then how do you just like feel
Right.
like someone doesn't want your baby to survive? Like it's
Yeah.
like different to say like I don't feel like they're good friends to me. I don't
Yeah.
feel like they want to be my friend. I don't
I don't feel like they want
feel
to enter my mom era with me.
like they care
Like,
about
they're,
me.
yeah, like, I'm gonna become a mom and they're gonna ditch me. Like,
Yeah,
that's different.
but like the feeling, I guess I would just like to know like
Right.
how you come to that feeling. Like,
Right.
is it like a maternal instinct? Is it
Yeah.
like what is it that you
Right.
just are like, oh no, I feel very strongly that like these are people who like want to see my baby die.
Right.
Like,
That's, like, such a crazy
ooh.
thing to say. Like, and, like, it feels, like, so intentional, like, the way she worded it. Like, like, I wanted to be surrounded by people who wanted to see my pregnancy go to full term,
Mhm.
see my baby healthy, and see me become a mom. Like, those aren't just things that's, like, that you, like, casually say about, like, how people feel about you being pregnant. Like, it'd be different if she was like, I wanted to be surrounded by people who were happy that I was pregnant.
Mhm.
Because that could
Sure.
be taken, that could still be taken the same way, or it can be taken as, like, they just didn't care
Sure.
that she was pregnant. They weren't
Yeah.
interested.
And
But,
I'm
like,
like
to
trying.
be this intentional with the wording of, like, they didn't want to see my pregnancy go to full term.
Mhm.
They wanted to see me miscarry, or didn't want to see me have a healthy baby, wanted my
Mhm.
baby to be unhealthy,
Yeah.
or didn't want to see me become a mom. Like, that's an absolutely crazy thing to say.
Mhm. I keep trying to like I'm trying to like think, like compare it to something. And I'm thinking like, like when you're like getting married,
Mhm.
okay, just for example. And someone might do something that's not necessarily like they hate your soon to be spouse or whatever, but they'll do
Right.
something that you're like, that's like kind of selfish. And I want
Mhm.
to be surrounded by people who are like here for me and who are
Right.
excited for me. And so I'm trying to think like there are things that people can do that can make you think like they're not here for the right reasons,
Right.
or they're not like about me. But it would be
Right.
different to say like I want people around me that want to see me and my fiance make it to our wedding day, finish our
Right.
wedding day, and then not get divorced. Like if you said all of those things, someone might say like, oh, who doesn't want you to make it to your wedding day? And you're like,
Who
oh
wants you
no
to
no,
get a divorce?
like not that. They didn't say that. Like
Yeah.
well, they asked for an extra guest, so it must mean they don't want me to make it to my wedding day. Like it feels like she's making quite a jump,
Right.
that like Zach, in her mind, okay, Zach screaming at her while she's pregnant might mean he doesn't care about her, or he
Right.
doesn't whatever. But to jump from that to like, so he wanted to kill my baby in that moment, he wanted to get me so stressed
I'm
that
trying so hard not to laugh. Like, it's not
yeah,
funny, but,
but it's
like,
like
the way that
they
she's
wanted, and that,
making this up in her
well, I'm
head.
trying to think like maybe that's what she meant, is they wanted to get her riled up and
They
stressed
stressed her out. Yeah.
during her pregnancy, like him and Kristen were like plotting against her. But it's like, that may have been true, that they didn't care about your pregnancy, they didn't
Right.
consider your pregnancy, that they were just being mean and you happened to be pregnant.
Right.
But like, I don't know that they were sitting at home going like, let's raise her blood pressure. Let's give her hypertension.
Right. Let's
so that
kill
she
Janet's
will
baby.
not bring this baby to term. Like, that's what we
That's
should do.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the guy that was interviewing her was just like, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm like, how are you not like, what the fuck?
I would like some receipt. Like, if I were that interviewer, I'd been like, oh, do you have some receipts?
What? Yeah, why did you think that? Like, what made
Yeah.
you feel that way? Yeah, what a crazy ass thing to say.
Yeah.
And you're stuck next to her on a plane.
God. I need that edge seat though.
Last tidbit. I saw this and it was like a news story, but I thought it was so funny. A little cute one. A zoo in China is in trouble, under fire, if you will, for dying chow chow puppies and trying to pass them off as miniature pandas.
Wild.
They're so cute, but like
I
they're
know.
obviously not pandas. Like if you you see them, they don't look like pandas.
Mhm.
So can we blame the zoo for people coming in and thinking that they were pandas? Because they don't look like pandas.
But also, we just gave the Memphis ones back. You have pandas. What you doing?
We still got We still got a little red.
It's so funny.
I love it. I love like a fun little deceitful moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody got hurt.
Yeah. All right, on to Miss Taylor Alice in Swift.
Taylor
So,
Allison,
so Max dropped a 2-part docuseries called Taylor Swift versus Scooter Braun Bad Blood. It was split into Taylor's version and Scooter's version.
Gross.
Who asked for that?
Right.
Just 4 days before it aired, Scooter announced that he was retiring from music management. The following day after his announcement was his birthday, and Taylor Swift decided to sing a mashup of I Forgot That You Existed and This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, which I thought was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
The day after the docuseries aired, Taylor sang another sassy mashup in London, Thank You, Amy, and Mean.
Mm-hmm.
Also so cute. At the end of the docuseries, they showed a statement from Taylor's team saying none of these men will ever be able to take anything away from Taylor's legacy as a songwriter, singer, director, philanthropist, and advocate for artists' rights. True. Basically, the Scooters version was people saying that, like, Scooter Braun didn't do anything illegal, that he had every right legally to buy and sell this asset that is the masters to Taylor Swift's albums. To which I say, just because something is legal does not mean that it's like nice.
Right. I don't think she ever said this is illegal.
They're like, she will
I think
lose
that's
in
why
court.
she was upset about it, was that
Yeah.
he could do it legally and she couldn't stop him.
Yeah, they kept saying like she will lose this battle in court, and I was like, am I missing something? When did she say she was going to court? Like
I
over
think she
this.
has to go to court to like be able to re-record them.
Sure, but like, I don't think she's
not
arguing
like
to get them back.
fighting them. Right. She's not
Right?
fighting him on it.
Could be wrong, but these people on the Scooters version side also seem to believe strongly that Taylor Swift is incredibly skilled at playing the victim in all of her life, which they say like she can't be. They say like though some of these things like have happened to her, like she can't be a victim when these things result in like wins for her. They result in like major success. And I think that like I understand the point of view that like it is difficult to like overarchingly feel bad for someone like
Right.
Taylor Swift when like every time someone hurts her, like, she comes out better from it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make her, though, like, not a victim to these things,
Right.
or like not the one who was wronged. So seems a little far-fetched, but okay.
It's giving Ariana Maddox.
Yeah. Iggy.
Um, more Taylor Swift, not related to the docuseries though. Joe Alwyn came out and said that he has never been to the Black Dog pub, which has people mad for a couple different reasons. Some people think that this means that the song is and always has been about Maddie Healy, and that if that is true, that the Black Dog lied about Joe Alwyn being a regular and like profited off of this song and that we should not be supporting them.
Mhm.
Which, like, okay.
Mhm.
In my opinion, I didn't think people were going there because they thought Joe Alwyn had gone there.
They went there because there's a song about
Because
it.
it's right. It's a
Yeah.
Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, I have always thought it's about Maddie. Sorry guys, whatever. Um but my original thought when the Black Dog came out and said we have had a certain blonde regular, what if they were just talking about Taylor? Like, which is what
Mm-hmm.
I thought at first anyway. Um, but then I'm like, if Taylor was there with Maddie, I don't know that the timeline adds up to where she could have been like a regular
Mm-hmm.
with Maddie, because the only time she was in London regularly was when she was with Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But then, could she have been a regular who went with like other people and maybe occasionally met up with her friend Maddie Healy in the course of 10 fucking years? Um, so I don't know, like, could it be her? Could she be the blonde
Mm-hmm.
regular? I don't know.
Yeah. Other people think Joe's simply lying and that
Sure.
he does go to the Black Dog pub. Um, I would like us to consider. I know that this is a rarity in the world of Taylor Swift, but I would like to consider that she just made up a name or picked a name of a bar and
Sure.
didn't. Neither of them had actually been to that bar.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe the name itself is intentional,
Mm-hmm.
but
Because there
like,
is a black dog in 1975 music videos and
yeah.
stuff.
So like maybe the
Um,
name is something that she picked that she thought would be like, oh, that's a good bar name, and I want to pack a punch.
hmm Yeah. I don't necessarily believe that, but sure. Yeah, possible. We could
Mm-hmm.
consider it.
Um. Also on the topic of Joe Alwyn, I so I was like watching the trailer. That's the word for Kinds of Kindness, and I was like, okay, we've got Emily Stone, we've got Margaret Qualley, Taylor Swift Cinematic Universe. I was like, how
Mhm.
fun! Like, I bet that they got like a little group chat maybe with Jack Antonoff and Taylor Swift, all the buddies. And then Sammy was like, Joe Alwyn's also in that movie. And I was like, stop. I would love to have been a fly on the wall on that set. I would love to know if there was a group chat, how uncomfortable it was. Because Jack Antonoff, like, he's not shy about not liking Joe Alwyn.
Mhm.
And so I would have to imagine that his wife has some beef with him too.
Mhm.
I would love to know about
Yeah,
that. That cracked me up.
that's true. I know. I thought that was weird the whole time. So stress. So, onto the biggest news in the world. Just kidding. Uh, so Travis did tell us before a while ago that we should definitely go to the Eras Tour in London if possible. Many people thought this fed into theories of an announcement But perhaps it was just that he knew he would be making his debut on that stage. So in London, she really packed a punch. Taylor performed with Hayley Williams, Gracie Abrams, and then with her football star boyfriend. So Mary was already feeling shaken just by the fact that Taylor posted a selfie with the royal family and Travis like in the background, but that
Mm-hmm.
she tagged him. Mary was like, her boyfriend on her feed? What?
Mm-hmm.
But then she stepped it up when she had him on the stage during the Torture Poets Department set. She also posted pictures of this in the recap of the show, saying that she was cracking up / swooning at his debut, which I do think is an interesting word choice.
Swooning. Swooning.
The debut word, not swooning, but
Oh, yes. I was listening to So High School today, and I said if somebody wrote a song like this about me, like I would simply pass away. Like, so cute. Um, Cam also posted about how fun it was to perform with Travis, and then Travis commented on that he was like so excited that he had now performed with both Saunders brothers. That was cute.
mm-hmm. About that caption, I do think so. People obviously are pointing to the fact that she called it his debut
Mm-hmm.
and trying to figure out if that's a nod to like debut Taylor's version. But true, I don't think that's an accident. But what I find more interesting is that like the word debut insinuates that it's going to happen again.
Right.
She didn't say like his surprise appearance. She's saying
Right.
debut, which tends to mean like the first of multiple.
Right.
So when's he coming back?
Well, and somebody said like surely if they had this whole outfit tailored to him, made for him,
Mm-hmm.
surely it will be used again.
Yeah. Some people theorize that she did not know he was coming out and that he surprised her. There's like a moment that people point to where she like opens her eyes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
To which I say absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
First of all, I think that would be very much overstepping on his part. I think that
Mm-hmm.
would be icky if he just like decided to jump in to her show without her knowing. Like weird. But also she's so meticulous with her show. There's no way they just added, and yeah, like you said, like he's a big guy, not all those suits are fitting him. They
Mm-hmm.
just add this third person up there and no practice is done and like she's not, no, that's not happening. Sorry.
Yeah. They also like showed how he got backstage that
Yeah.
he was like running under her Evermore cloak.
Yeah.
Or folklore or whatever. She did get a surprise from Cam though. During the
Mm-hmm.
London shows, during We're Never Getting Back Together, when instead of saying like ever, he said up yours, Winker.
I do
And
think he
she,
surprises her with those every
yes,
time.
but I think like typically he says it in like the language of wherever they are.
Yes.
And so I think it just shocked her that he didn't say like ever. And she could not stop laughing.
Yeah. People do love the symbolism of Travis being the one to pick her up after she has been killed by the smallest man who ever lived. Cute.
Hmm. Not as cute. Other people think that the symbolism is in the fact that they are performing together and that this is proof that their relationship is for PR, their relationship is a performance. Um, and that's what being on stage together hints at.
Okay. I okay. I don't I don't even no response.
Get it together, people.
It has also been pointed out that Swifties do not at all have the same reaction to seeing Travis on the stage that football fans had at seeing glimpses of Taylor Swift in the stands at
Yeah,
Chiefs games.
yeah.
Travis has since done an interview on a Barstool podcast. I think actually he probably recorded it before, but whatever came out after. Where he said that him and Taylor do want privacy about the inside of their relationship and like basically like closed door stuff, but he is not going to hide her because that's his girl and he's proud, and that's cute. They also, I know, they also asked him, but didn't Karma used to be the guy on the screen? And Travis said, it was.
In the same interview, they asked him what his favorite songs are. This cracked me up because, like, right before this interview came out, I saw something on TikTok that was like, it said like, Travis Kelce says that he doesn't like Taylor Swift's music and that it would be like disingenuous for him to support her the way that she supports him at games because he's just not interested in her songs. And people were commenting and they were like, does Travis know he said that? And somebody said the same Travis Kelce that I just saw on stage at the Eras tour?
Yeah.
That Travis said it? So obviously not true. And in the interview, he said that his favorite songs are 1, Blank Space, 2, Cruel Summer, and 3, So High School because of the sentimental meaning.
He has answered this before, and last time he said 1, Blank Space, so not budging. And then The Alchemy in So High School, he basically was like, obviously I gotta say those. So interesting that he added Cruel Summer. He thought he's it's so funny. He's like teaching these guys. He's like, and did you know that it actually came out a few years ago? Like it's just recently like blown back up, but it's like in a previous album. And they were like, I did not know that. I was like,
you didn't know that? That's embarrassing. I would
wild.
Not knowing that. He's also never escaping the only knowing how to ball rumors because on New Heights, Travis admitted that he only recently learned that the movie is called Alice in Wonderland and not Allison Wonderland.
Jason said, we've watched it, and her name wasn't Allison. And he said, I thought it was.
he said that whole movie where they were calling
her Alice? Was calling her Alice?
I thought it was Allison. And they're just leaving it off. Maybe he thought it was like a British thing. I saw one joke that said, did he find out by saying, you're my Taylor Alice in Wonderland? And I thought, there's no doubt that he learned that from Taylor Swift, the creator of 1989.
Yeah.
And Wonderland, like they were listening to Wonderland, and she was like, and he was like, no, Allison.
Yeah, I like to picture that she was like, my middle name is Allison, and he's like, just like Alice in Wonderland. And she's like, no, it's not Alice. My middle name is Allison. And he's like, right. Like Alice in Wonderland. And she's like, no.
And that's the exact moment that she wrote the lyric, you know how to ball. I know Alice in Wonderland.
I know basic movie titles. I know how to spell squirrel.
The movie's older than him.
Yeah.
And he can't get the name right. One last thing about Tayvis. Taylor joined an Instagram Live for the Chiefs Super Bowl ring ceremony, and she was having the time of her life in that comment section. She was commenting hard eyes. She said, these are all separate comments. Yes. Congratulations. Joining the party from Liverpool. Let's go. And we get another year of me, Cole. And then the only one that's not in all caps. Gotta go to sleep. It's late here. Love you guys.
Such a little goof.
What a goober.
Okay. And then the two major reality TV things going on at this time have happened without Mary.
Yeah, I'm here to learn.
Mary said 2 weeks ago, right here, you will never convince me to watch Love Island, and I will never watch those shows like Perfect Match.
I realized like how silly it was now that I was like, my reason was like they only wear bathing suits, and I'm like the biggest fan of Bachelor in Paradise. I'm like, this is my jam.
Yeah. Our parents said they started Love Island, got 5 minutes in, and said, never mind. I then watched the first 5 minutes and I said, oh, I get it. I get it. So you got to make it past that. It's heavily produced. There's dance numbers, there's theme songs, and you got to move past it because it's incredible.
Yeah, so we watched by accident. We watched like the opening credits, and Sammy was like, "This is the cringiest thing I've ever seen."
It's
And
so
like
fun.
but like it doesn't feel like it's in an ironic way. Like Bachelor in Paradise intro, cringy but funny.
Mm-hmm.
This one felt like they didn't know they were being cringy.
I disagree, but I think my favorite thing about like these types of shows is that they don't take themselves too seriously. Like they take like maybe small parts like the music, the dance numbers more seriously than they
Mm-hmm.
should. But I think I'm just like so over The Bachelor and like this whole like here for the right reasons thing and like everyone like needing to prove that they like want a husband and like I'm cool with it being messy
Mm-hmm.
and like I think it's so fun. So, for maybe the first time ever, the general consensus is that Love Island USA is doing better than the UK version right now. Personally, I'm not watching the UK season, so of course it is for me. Ariana Madix, people are calling this the Maddox effect. Also, it's a great cast. Entertaining this year. Ariana obviously keeps serving looks, but otherwise, because that happens pretty rarely. Also, our parents were like, we were watching for her, and I was like, oh, well, that's a big miss on your part because she's there
Yeah,
every like sixth episode. Like,
right.
um,
This every fucking day.
it's not like Chris Harrison.
Right, like think about how often you truly hear from Julie Chin Moonves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's less than that.
I know, but like in
Yeah.
like she's only really there for like interacting with them
Sure.
for like the people leaving.
And Love Island does a lot of like they communicate with them via text. So they will actually have dumpings and recoupling ceremonies where there isn't a host and they're just getting texts like telling them what to do. So anyway, originally I was rooting for Rob and Leah, but I was cautious because I felt like Rob was even charming me. And that makes me suspicious.
That's a red flag.
Because it's charm usually turns me off. And I was like, what's he doing? Why do I love him? Then, when Andrea came in, he started getting wishy washy with Leah before having a full on meltdown that people are calling, I lose it every time. They're calling them hold on. It's so funny.
Mantrum.
Mantrums.
Wait,
That's right.
really?
Yes, they're calling them mantrums.
I just pulled that out of my ass.
Yeah, so this dude, he's crying, he's hiding behind walls. Eventually he goes, this isn't going to make sense, so I'm going to make you watch the video. Eventually he goes into the pool and is like hiding underneath this part of the pool. I'm literally like, he's drowning. Like, is anyone going to help him? Like, what's going on here?
Like Tom Sandoval and Villa Rosa like
Yeah. While crying, Leah continued to try to explain her feelings since this was the conversation to begin with. And Rob says, she didn't even care about me when I started crying. And he says, could you just ask me how I'm doing? So she stops.
I don't need to ask.
And she asked, how are you doing? And she turned the conversation to him and she let him feel his feelings. And then he told her, we don't actually have any sexual chemistry. And he started gaslighting her. So that's fun. Then she said, how the fuck am I supposed to sleep in a bed with this guy who just told me we have no sexual chemistry?
They have to sleep in a bed together?
So she slept outside with Serena. they slept in soul ties, which you don't know what that means. So they slept outside, and then I'll show you this video. Just the crying.
I'm really upset.
Why? Literally, what do you want me to say to that? I keep trying to think back, like, where it went that wrong and then it just flipped like that. No, that was bad.
Oh.
Oh,
I got a text!
someone get the paramedics. Oh, my heart is racing.
Damn. What the
I got it. Andrea and Nicole, it is now time to decide who you would like to couple up with.
Okay.
She's so hot.
Which, Leah?
Yes.
Andrea's pretty hot too, but
Which one is Andrea?
she had the braid tendrils. The
No, the
blonde
other
girl.
girl was hot.
So this man, and honestly, when I first saw him crying, I was like, Rob.
No,
And then I was like, I'm being tricked.
it's give like the in the pool was the biggest ick of my
I know.
life.
I was like, girl, run. He is a snake wrangler as a profession. So you can go watch him and snakes on his Instagram. So that night at that recoupling, the two girls that were up for grabs stood at the front. All the guys that were interested in them had to go up and say they were interested in coupling up with them. Rob whispers to Leah, I'm sorry. And then he goes up, and she said, that was dramatic as hell. And he picks Andrea, and Leah mouths to him. And he said, and she said, and it was hilarious. And that's when I was like, I'm so proud of her.
So does she have to leave?
No, so like you don't leave like immediately. Some recouplings you do leave, some you don't. But like a lot of the time you'll recouple, it just affects who you sleep with, and then they'll bring in more bombshells, and then like eventually they'll send people home. But
if she's not in a couple, where does she sleep?
In a bed alone. Yes. Yeah.
That's the dream.
Nice. Yeah. At this point, after this, Rob and Andrea are basically like solid. He's like, this girl hates me now. I don't get to really have both of them, so I guess I'm just gonna stick with this one. Love Island, though, came along to fuck shit up. So they made the boys choose one. So they basically had America vote their favorite couples, the bottom three couples, the men and the women. They call them boys and girls in Love Island. And the boys and the girls were, those three were like at risk. And the boys had to vote a boy off, and the girls had to vote a girl off, but they couldn't collaborate with each other. So the boys' strategy was to send home the boy with the least solid connection. But the girls' strategy was to send home the girl with the most solid connection because she wasn't open to meeting new people. And the point of Love Island is meeting new people. And so the girls voted out Andrea, and all of the boys erupted. They were screaming. They were pissed. Rob got up, went and stood with Andrea and said, fine, you have 3 people going now. I'm leaving with her. Ariana said, we'd rather you didn't, but that's your choice. And so he makes this huge scene. He's screaming. But while Andrea's packing her things, he changed his mind. And he said, I would actually regret leaving. But if I stay and I realize that I miss you, then doesn't that make us stronger? And she said, I guess. And she left. And here's where I have another video for you of these drama-ass men.
It's dump from the island is Andrea.
No. Sorry, dude. I can't. No. Please, no. What the fuck? Dude, I love you so much. I will see you again.
We had to make a decision.
There's connections in here. Why would you literally knock Andrea out?
It was not easy for us. They're all here to find love.
Oh yeah, well, good luck.
You're just gonna dump someone with a strong connection.
I'm sorry, I found a connection. Like, I just don't, it's just not fair.
Oh my gosh, I hate this family.
So, Rob, what's going on?
I'm leaving. You got rid of 3 tonight. Good job.
The girl we had.
Fake out. No, I'm not. So obviously fans are...
No.
Yeah. Aaron is so in love with Rob that he almost lost his mind. Almost. Fans are obviously calling Rob a drama king, and they also wonder if Andrea came on the show just to promote her music career. Now, Detective Rob, though, is on the case because he thinks Leah is being shady. She is now that Andrea is gone, expressing interest in him again. And he thinks that's suspicious because she's also claiming to him that she has never talked badly about him or about Andrea, he said. So, this is the first Love Island season, for me at least, where I've seen such like a friend divide. Like typically it's like boys versus girls, but it's like not quite like that. And I can't decide how I feel because yes, I guess Leah kind of has at this point been caught in some lies or at least exaggerations. But also, I feel like Kaylor, Aaron, Rob, and Liv are giving mean girls. They're like walking around like I don't even know if it's gaslighting because I guess she is lying, but they're just like walking around like no one believe Leah, like and it's just I don't
Like
trust
Rob's
Rob.
like, don't believe Leah, and then the other ones are behind him. I'm like, yeah, don't believe Leah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just don't trust Rob enough. I kind of feel like I have to believe everything the opposite of what he tells me.
And also, Leah's so hot.
It's true. She's cute.
So
I can't decide if I think she has a BBL, but maybe.
On Miami, on Real Housewives, have you seen what Larsa Pippen looks like?
Yes.
Have you seen what Larsa Pippen used to look like?
I've watched Miami.
Okay.
The first couple seasons, and I watched Traitors. So yes.
Okay. So in the first season back, Adriana was like, or no, at the reunion, Andy said, okay, sorry, no, I do need to say this because we've been saying this in our house. It's like become like our best friend dictionary phrase. Adriana was like, in her interview, she said, Larsa's butt is so big you can see it from the planet Moon. But in the reunion, Andy was like, so Larsa, like, what work have you had done? And she said, like, I got like around my eyes done and my lips, but that's it. And he was like, you didn't have he said you didn't have your butt done? She said, no, that's natural.
How many squats?
Lie again,
How
Larsa.
many?
Also, it's like so clear to me, like she's got to have like cheek filler or implants or something. Like her face is just so much rounder.
Yeah,
no,
she
said her nose and her lips were all she had gotten done. Her face is so much rounder.
She did have a much like sharper.
Yes, and like I don't know, but then the next season, Adriana is Brazilian, and she was like, I'm getting a BBL. And she was like, but I'm gonna be honest about it. And Larsa was like, I don't know what you're talking about because I've never had a BBL in my life.
Yeah, never. Larsa. I would never.
Larsa.
Oh, all right. So on to the next show that Mary doesn't watch. I will not lie to you.
I know these people though.
I had this conversation with Mary about how she wouldn't watch this, and I walked my ass from this computer to my TV screen and I said, I'm gonna watch Perfect Match. Fuck Mary. I'm gonna give it a try.
I know who these people are though.
Yes. And I really thought like this is gonna be a background show. I am not about it. Like this is gonna be trash. And it's trash. But it's incredible. And this season was incredible. And I am so happy that I made this choice. So, major things to note. No one is still together after the finale. Especially not the couple that was chosen to win, since they had only been matched for one night before they got voted the perfect match. Infuriate. Everyone was waiting with bated breath, including Jess, for this footage to drop. Melinda told everyone that Harry Jowsey kissed her. He says he did not kiss her. Melinda's making it up for clout. While Harry Jowsey generally is a hard person to trust, Melinda did seem also.
He looks like a baby. He looks like an infant, and it feels so hard to like
God,
not
him on Too Hot
believe
to Handle.
him because like he looks so innocent.
Yeah, I guess.
His face.
So, basically, what he admitted to Jess was like, I know that I acted in a way that like you and Autumn like would not be proud. That like I did not like I shouldn't have even like been in that situation. I carried her to the bathroom because she didn't have shoes on. I said yada 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 to her, but like I did not kiss her. I did not do any of that stuff. Like whatever. She's just making that up. And Jess was like, okay, you're right that you never should have been in that position. You shouldn't have been like close enough with someone that like that can be alleged. And you're right, like that's not what me and Autumn want. But like, fine, I'll think about it. And after the cameras went off, that next morning was when they told each other they loved each other. Awesome. And then Melinda is coming into the house. So now Melinda wants to talk to Jess, and she tells her all of this. And she also tells her, and he told me he was going to put a baby in me, and like all this stuff. And Harry's like, no, I did not say any of that. Well, actually, what was interesting, me and Billy actually believed Harry for a while. But then, without Jess even saying to him what Melinda alleged, he sat down to her and he was like, well, I did say to her something about like if she ever got pregnant. And it was like a story that was like adjacent to the story that she had told, but wasn't quite. And I was like, oh, buddy, I don't like that. I don't like that. And so that was suspicious to me. But there does not seem to be direct footage of this alleged kiss, but what they do show us at the finale is that Harry did tell Melinda that he would like to put a baby in her. He carried her to the bathroom and he said, there's no cameras over here. And then we hear him and Melinda talk about the kiss right after it happens. They say some things about like kissing. And then we get footage of Harry telling Chris that he just did something he shouldn't have done, but he can't tell him on camera what he did. And so what's weird is that like we're watching this, but it's not like a Bravo reunion where like they show them. Like Jess still isn't watching this at the thing. Like she's waiting. She doesn't get to see it till we all saw it. So without even being able to see the footage, Jess did say in the finale that Harry is not the man that she would want to lead her family at this time, but that she wants to give him credit for like trying to be a better man. Harry admitted at the finale that he did lie to Jess, but he did not say to the extent that he lied to Jess. And then she had posted a few days before and said like, it was like a reel or something where she basically said like, I'm also waiting for the footage. So like really sad to know that like she didn't know until, and maybe he told her before that, but anyway. So Harry and Jess did try to date again in the real world, and that did not last long either. He says that it was rough when people would tell Jess things about him because it would make her think that she shouldn't give him a fair chance. He neglects to mention that they were right. That all the things they were telling Jess about him were true.
Right.
And that she shouldn't have given him a fair chance. But okay. When I watched Harry on Perfect Match, I had never seen him on Too Hot to Handle, and I had not actually watched him on Dancing with the Stars, but like we had talked about that, like the age gap is like weird enough. But I had thought like maybe it's still kind of cute. I don't really know. No, this man is like he's like talking about like really just like really crass things, which is like fine. He's a grown up, but the whole time I was thinking like, did he fuck an 18-year-old? Like, oh God, like, oh, this guy, please don't. So he says, though, that while he was on Dancing with the Stars, he was with Jess, at least for part of it. And that ultimately, all of the attention and speculation about his relationship with Riley led to the demise of him and Jess's relationship. He says, yeah, I mean, fair. They, like, asked him, like, but did you feel like you were, like, playing into it so that people wouldn't guess that you and Jess were together? Or like for it to be better for Dancing with the Stars, and he like didn't really answer that, and I was like, oh, interesting.
Had Love is Blind even aired when he was on Dancing with the Stars? Did we even know who Jess was?
I don't know, but I did read somewhere that people had already thought him and Jess were together because of a picture of them together. So I do think that maybe Love is Blind was airing or something. I don't remember, but I do think a photo did leak of them like together somewhere. Okay. I don't really know, but he says that like when they went to break up or whatever, he told Jess like, please like stay with me. I'll give you all of my passwords. He said even to his bank account. He said, I told her I would let her read my texts every single night before bed. I would unfollow every woman on social media. He also says that he bought a ring and planned to propose to her.
You should not be having to offer those things.
No. He says that he and Riley never crossed any boundaries. And he knew that if they did, he would like ruin her 20s. Which is like weird to me because she's 18. So like what you thought you were going to be around her for like almost 12 years? Like what? Okay.
12
anyway,
years.
I'm saying like she's not even 20.
The entire
in her 20s.
Yeah.
So
I was
like
you do 2 years from 18 to 20.
No, but you're gonna be like in her life enough to ruin a decade.
Her entire 20s.
Jesus Christ.
You're not even out of your 20s.
Yeah. So 2 days after he made these statements, Harry and Riley unfollowed each other. So seems like I don't know if that leads me to believe that she thinks he's lying, and so she's like, fuck you if you're gonna tell people we didn't cross those boundaries, like I'm unfollowing, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so thankful to have lived to see the rise and fall of Harry Jowsey. Like when he was on Dancing with the Stars, like everyone was like, that's my man, like love him and Riley, and we said no, that's
gross,
and people were so into it, and now everyone knows he's gross.
Yeah. Also, like, him and Too Hot to Handle is truly a baby. It's creepy looking. So Micah and Kaz also tried to date outside of the show, but he ended up, she said, it went much like it did inside the villa. He ended up kissing someone else from the show while they were not supposed to be exploring other options. Then easily the strongest couple on the show, Alara and Steven, have said that they went on vacation together where they discussed plans to get an apartment together soon, and then he just ghosted her. Awesome. Izzy has shared that he has a new girlfriend, except it's actually an old girlfriend, the same one that he started dating after Love is Blind. And she never deleted their original pictures together. So many people think they were together the entire time. But then also, I guess, so this part, the timeline is weird because they did say to Izzy, like, so you went on the show before your season had even aired? So then I'm like, maybe he went on Perfect Match right after filming Love is Blind? and then started dating this girl and has been dating her since Perfect Match. And
Yeah.
then when he did the Love Is Blind reunion, was dating her because that's so long after. So I don't know, but feels weird that they were allowed to announce it. Then he was going to go on another show, and then they were. I don't know. It's very strange. So that's awesome.
The
Perfect
timeline
Match
of these
was.
shows confuses me.
I know, but like, Perfect Match was incredible, and also in terms of like love, a whopping failure.
Yeah.
So that's it. Woo! And Bachelorette is starting soon.
It will have come out by the time we record next.
Woo!
We'll get to talk about the premiere.